Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 8 of our Education Transformation series. I am your host, Socheta, and I am absolutely thrilled to be sitting here in our studio today. We are talking about something that is no longer just a future skill, but a right-now reality: integrating coding into the curriculum. It is a topic that sparks both excitement and, let's be honest, a bit of anxiety for some educators. Joining me today is a man who has been on the front lines of this digital shift, Mr. Saroon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Sucheta. It is a real honor to be here. I can tell you the energy in the education sector right now regarding technology is just electric. It is a challenging time, certainly, but the potential we are seeing in the classroom is unlike anything I have witnessed in my 20 years of teaching.
20 years? That is a lot of change you have seen. I want to start with the why. When we talk about coding, some people still picture a dark room and someone typing green text on a black screen, but you see it differently, don't you? What are the real outcomes for a student who learns to code in primary or secondary school?
Socheta, the biggest misconception is that we are trying to turn every single child into a software engineer. We aren't. Coding is the new literacy. When a child learns to code, they aren't just learning a language, they are learning how to think. It teaches decomposition, breaking down a massive, scary problem into tiny, manageable steps. It teaches logic, persistence, and most importantly, it teaches them that failure is just a bug that needs fixing, not a reason to stop.
I love that. Failure is just a bug. That is such a powerful mindset shift for a young person. I imagine that builds incredible resilience. Can you share a specific moment, maybe a story from your own classroom, where you saw that light bulb moment for a student?
Oh, I have so many. There was this one student, let's call him Sopeep. He was very quiet, struggled with traditional essay writing, and often felt left behind in social studies. But when we introduced a basic block coding project to animate a historical event, something changed. He spent hours perfecting the logic of his characters. He wasn't just doing school, he was creating. He found his voice through code. The pride in his eyes when his program finally ran without errors, that is the outcome we are looking for.
That is truly touching. To see a student find their voice through logic and creativity, it's beautiful. But we have to talk about the other side of the coin. It isn't all smooth sailing, is it? What are the biggest challenges you see when schools try to integrate this into an already packed curriculum?
The challenges are very real, Socheta. First, there is the curriculum squeeze. Teachers are already under immense pressure to meet literacy and numeracy targets. Adding one more thing can feel like the straw that breaks the camel's back. Then there is the digital divide. Not every school has high-speed internet or a 1-to-1 ratio of devices. In some of our more rural provinces, even consistent electricity can be a hurdle. We have to be very careful that coding doesn't become a privilege for the few, but a right for the many.
That is a vital point. The equity issue is massive. And what about the teachers themselves? I know some of my friends who are teachers get a bit of a tech panic when they hear they have to teach Python or Scratch.
Oh, the tech panic is very real, and it is completely understandable. Many teachers didn't grow up with this. They feel they need to be experts before they can teach it. But what I tell them is, you don't need to be an expert. You need to be a facilitator. You need to be okay with a student saying, "Teacher, I found a better way to do this," and replying, "That's amazing, show me how." It requires a shift from being the sage on the stage to the guide on the side.
Thoughtfully. Guide on the side. I like that. It takes a lot of humility for an educator to admit they don't have all the answers. So, looking ahead, if we manage to overcome these hurdles, the training, the infrastructure, the time, where does this lead us? What does a coding-integrated society look like for us in 10 years?
With visionary intensity, it looks like a generation of problem solvers. Whether they become doctors, farmers, artists, or politicians, they will approach the world with a computational mindset. They will look at a systemic problem like climate change or urban traffic, and they won't feel helpless. They will think, okay, what are the variables? How can I iterate a solution? It empowers them to be creators of technology, not just passive consumers of it. And for our country, that is the key to sustainable development.
It sounds like we are talking about building a more confident, capable future. Before we wrap up, Mr. Saroon, what is one piece of advice you would give to a teacher or a parent who is listening and wants to start this journey but feels overwhelmed?
Encouragingly, Start small. You don't need a high-tech lab. There are unplugged coding activities that use paper and markers to teach logic. Use the resources available online. Many are free and designed for beginners. And most importantly, play. Don't treat it as a chore. Treat it as a puzzle to be solved together with your children or students. The magic happens when you're all learning at the same time.
Joyfully. The magic happens when you're all learning at the same time. What a perfect note to end on. Mr. Saroon, thank you so much for your time and your passion. This has been such an enlightening conversation.
It was my pleasure, Socheta. Thank you for giving this topic the spotlight it deserves.
And thank you to all our listeners for joining us for episode 8. We hope you feel a little more inspired and perhaps a little less intimidated by the world of code. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more deep dives into the world of education. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep coding. Goodbye.